Hey guys, today I will have a special. It's the first time that I do this kind of thing. I will review a few graphic novels and graphic collections with a common theme, and the theme is apocalypse. It has become quite successful and quite a almost cliche topic in the past few years, and this has probably most to do with this year, The Walking Dead by Robert Kirkman, which has turned into a mass media phenomenon. Probably all of you guys have sampled it, read it, but for the, I don't know, one guy who didn't, I will review this one. I will also review the first volume of a series which is already finished. It's Sheltered by Ed Brisson, an author who I discovered through his new image series The Violent, which I liked very much. And this is called a pre-apocalyptic tale, but let's not kid ourselves, it's just a marketing claim. It's basically an apocalyptic theme. So there's that. I also have two indie books. One is Black River by Josh Simmons by Fantagraphics Books. It was released last year, and it was very well received, or quite well received. And the last one in the bunch is Dogs in Water by Anders Nielsen. It's by Drawn and Quarterly, and I bought it, I don't know, must be a year ago that I bought it, but I just recently read it. And yeah, let me start with Shattered. Why? Because it will be a short review. It's just not. It's probably it's pretty hard to compete with The Walking Dead, and this is no zombie story at all. I mean, this is already different. But if you have like this kind of setting of an almost extinct or soon to be extinct civilization, and the Lord of the Flies overall theme, then you will always get comparisons with The Walking Dead, even without zombies, because let's not kid ourselves, the zombies are the least I don't know, attracting part about The Walking Dead, which I will follow up right away. So, like I said, it's Lord of the Rings. It's kids against their parents, kids against their other kids, and the plot is heavily forced, feels forced to me. I mean, it doesn't have to be like super realistic and authentic, but if it's fantasy, then just build in some laser beams from dinosaurs' eyes or something. But this is supposed to be like a thing which could happen, and I don't see it really happen. So instead of sampling this old work by Ed Brisson, I would totally recommend to you his new series, The Violent, which is pretty excellent, up to the third issue by now, and it's really good. So we have that. Next one is Black River. Black River is an indie book by one cartoonist. It's not a team. I would just read the text here on the back. Heroine recounts the wealthy and morose trials and tribulations of an affiliation of women, two canines, and discordant men as they venture through a perished yet still viperous continent toward a landing of some well-being and face all manner of terror. Wow, this is overtly sophisticated, because this is pretty much a super simple story of people wandering around. There is a film, I don't have the name in my head right now, where a father and a son, also in a post-apocalyptic setting, are just wandering around, strolling around and trying to survive, to stay alive. And this is what this is about. Unfortunately, it's super well drawn. I think it's very special. The drawing style is it's quite unique and really good and really atmospheric. The characters are pretty thin, and the story, like I said, I mean, we've seen this before. What's the big selling point? It's mostly women who are like who the story is focused on. Um, and it picks up some steam after now in the second half, I would say. Um, but you don't learn anything from it. You don't, other than everything is really fucked up when the world is going to shit. Wow, big surprise. So, unfortunately, no recommendation for this one. Then we'll come to The Walking Dead by Robert Kirkman. So yeah, it's two genres in one. It's of course the zombie horror genre, which is not always, but most of the times connected to the more apocalyptic setting that the world is going to shit and people are becoming extinct in a way. They become fewer and fewer, so every life is more precious. On the other hand, when the skin of civilization is ripped off and the flesh is eaten off, you see the skeleton of humankind, which is raw and really yeah, it makes you afraid of the next man. You know, what is the potential for being mean and being an asshole, and it's a pretty big potential. This is what The Walking Dead is basically about. People under stress having to decide matters over life and death. I mean, do I have to show you the artwork? You probably know it, or you've heard of it, or you sampled it and didn't like it. I have to say, when I first read it, when it came out, I don't know, 10 years ago when it started, I found it to be okayish at the best. Then the show came, and I watched a few seasons. I didn't really care. I'd continue to watch it because there were not a lot of good shows at that time, but I didn't really love it. But then all of a sudden, I don't know, probably I just wanted to buy some more comics and I bought the first compendium and I torn through it in, I don't know, 2 days. It's extremely entertaining. It's well written, not in a very sophisticated or clever way, but just in a very effective way. It's just a soap opera. And the characters are a family, basically, even if they're not blood related, but they behave like a family. And this is what the whole fascination is about, all the fuss is about. It's a family story. It's about a bunch of people who are codependent and who have to survive, and they're fighting off the bad guys who try to kill them. That's it. And it's entertaining. So, should you give it a read? Yes, especially for this price. It's $60 for 40 issues, and it's good. It's no big masterwork. It's no big art thing, but it's entertainment. It's good. Next up is Dogs and Water by Anders Nielsen. Anders Nielsen is a cartoonist who has released, I think, 5 books or so already. And he's more, his latest stuff, the last few things that he did were more on the, were gotten more and more abstract. I totally love his drawings. I think he's a master. He has very special skills he deals with time in a really, really interesting way. In this one, he doesn't even use, you know, the classic panel. It just flows into another. I mean, there are different panels, but no thing around it. I don't have the name for it right now. The outline. And it's so amazing. He will draw, you know, look at this. Time is passing. And this is a big quality of his. You can totally feel how the time is passing. And this is a very difficult thing to do, I think, in comics without it becoming, you know, a shtick. And he knows when to use it, and he knows when to come down with the velocity, and then there is an action sequence and there is a jump cut into the future and whatever, and he can do this really well. Regarding the story, of course it's not a big story, it's just one guy wandering around, and that's it, spoiled. But the little things that happen have a much bigger impact, just because not much is happening. The little things, the nuances are really getting to you. And from all those things that I've read regarding the post-apocalyptic sense of being alive, still alive, I think this is the closest to authenticity, because it's one guy talking to a teddy bear all the time. Borderline crazy already, which makes perfect sense if everyone has died and every place you come to is destroyed. We don't get to know what happened, and you don't need to, because it's about the human existence. It's not about the big reveal. Oh my god, what happened? Who bombed who? Blah blah blah. It's just a very touching and well written and super drawn book. I can totally recommend. This is the winner out of the four for the more sophisticated reader. And if you're just in for the entertainment and haven't sampled it yet, I would totally recommend The Walking Dead. Thank you very much for watching. I will return with single issue reviews probably next week. You can subscribe to my channel, it's right here. And yeah, see you soon if you like. Until then, have a good life. Thank you.